Hey, this is Trevor with the Epic Classroom, and I want to talk about class contracts, or social contracts, some people call them. Essentially, a document or a manifesto that is up front and center in your classroom with norms or expectations for what your class is all about. You know, it's almost like a set of agreements that everybody in your class, you included, and students can all agree to, that when you are in this classroom, these are some rules or norms or expectations or agreements that we can all stack our hands on. And if we do that, some incredible things can happen. So I've created this social contract, and this is something that I've always used in my classroom. I call it the Epic Class Contract. And I would love for you to have it in your own room if you feel like it would fit your own classroom culture. So at the end of this video, if you want to look in the comments, there's a link where you can download the PDF to this one and then some others that look like it. And then you can print them out for free and put them in your classroom. That's basically letting students know, here are some expectations for how we're going to make this class incredible or epic or adventurous. So I want to go through each one of these. And I think when you have a class contract, it's really good to have student input. And so if you want to add to this or, create your own below it, go for it. If you don't want the one that I've created and you want to make your own with some of these ideas, do it. It's all about creating a culture where students are excited and engaged in the learning process. So I think it's really great to have a discussion with students, though, about why certain things are on this contract. And I want to go through maybe what that should look like or what that discussion can look like. So starting with number one, I will fail forward. You've got to give students an opportunity to fail in your class. I mean, the best learning comes from when we don't succeed, right? Like, it's great winning and all, and it's great when a student gets an A on a paper or really knocks it out of the park on a project, but it's when we fail and things don't go the way we want them to that we can really learn and make iterations and revise and get better. And so that's called failing forward. That's about moving forward. Even though it didn't work out, you're still going to keep moving forward. And so I think it's really important to drive in with your students that in this class, we fail forward. Number two, I will work hard and inspired. I mean, who doesn't want hardworking people in our society? Who doesn't want hardworking parents and hardworking postal workers and business people and teachers? And so in this class, we work hard. And we do it not just because I told you to, because the teacher commanded it, or that's usually the expectation for school. We work hard because we're inspired by the work that we're doing. Number three on here is I will care for everyone on this journey with me. This is just all about respect. This is about caring for the people that are in this adventure with you. And so essentially, with my classmates, whether we are friends or whether we don't know each other, or dare I say, even enemies, in this class, we're going to care for each other. Now, does that mean we have to become friends? We've got to be lovey-dovey and all that? No. I mean, that's not really realistic. I mean, do we really do that with all of our coworkers? But I will care for them, right? I will give them respect and show them the respect they deserve as my peers and my classmates. I think we don't put enough emphasis on collaboration in schools, and that's something I want to start talking more and more about here on the Epic Classroom. But I think when we have on here that we're going to care for everybody, that opens the doors to collaboration. It kind of sets the stage for group work and making it meaningful, and that you can do it with everybody, not just your friends. Number four on here is I will take risks. I think it is so important for our students to know that it is okay for them to take risks in class. If we have a big part of our class is public speaking or, sharing your thoughts aloud with everybody else, there's a risk involved with that. It takes vulnerability anytime you create anything. And so I think students need to know from the outset that we are going to take risks in here, and that I'm going to encourage you and push you to do it more and more, because as a teacher, I'm taking a risk every day that I come and stand up in front of you, and that, I'm exposing a certain side of myself that I don't always expose, and I'm asking you to do the same. So in this class, we take risks. Number five is I will respect this space. This is a pretty standard one that you might see on a lot of social contracts or class contracts, but it's a really important one. I want you to take care of this classroom because it's the only one we have. And if we don't take care of it, it's not going to be a really great setting for some incredible things to happen in. And so I think it's really important to go over this with students and let them know that this is their classroom. This is your setting for the story, your learning environment. And so how you treat it is how it's going to be for you every single day that you're in here working and enjoying and playing and having an adventure in. Number 6 is I will seek guidance. I want my students to know that I am here to help them. That is my role as a teacher and as their guide, and I want to make that very, very clear to them. And so if there is a problem and they're struggling and they're not sure how to get through whatever challenge is in front of them, whether it's academic, whether it's a social issue, something like that, I want them to know that they can come to me and I will help them out. Whether that's pointing them in a direction to talk to somebody else, whether that's maybe asking some really tough questions to move them along, or maybe it's doing some direct instruction and saying, oh, I didn't know that that's something you were struggling with, but because you came and sought me out, I can actually give you the information you need or point you in the direction you need to go. So I want my students to know that they can seek guidance and they should seek guidance when they need it. And number 7 is I will never lose my sense of wonder. This one's pretty self-explanatory, but I want to state it loud and clear for students that there is some beauty and there's some brilliance that they have not yet experienced, that they haven't yet grasped, and yet it's still out there. And this class is about finding ways to grab more and more of it. I want them to have a sense of wonder about the world, and I want them to experience it in a brand new way when they come into my classroom. And so I stated very clearly on the class contract that you cannot lose your sense of wonder in this room. Maybe it'll waver sometimes, just as it does for me, but that we're committed to always seeking more and more wonder in the things that we're learning, in the activities that we're taking part in, or whatever it is, that they're just going to continue to strive to capture the beauty and joy and wonderment in our world. And so that is number 7 on the class contract. So feel free to grab these. The link is here in this video. Download all the PDFs, put them all over your room, add to it, create your own, whatever you do. I think it's really important that we put the things that are most important to us as teachers and as guides, and we put them up in visible places for all of students to see so that they know what this class is all about. I hope these resources help make your classroom even more epic.